What's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So stories came out, and it's on dailymail.co.uk. And it talks about how Joe Biden admitted that they secretly brought in hundreds of thousands of illegal migrants into the United States at different airports last year. And it has a lot of people up in arms, which it should be. Because, number one, you're talking about Greg Abbott, Governor Greg Abbott, of this great state of Texas. You want to say that he's doing something illegal against the Constitution, against federal rules and regulations or what have you by busing migrants who illegally crossed the border because Joe Biden, you and your administration gave them carte blanche to do so. And so he ships them to different cities. He has busted them. He has flown them. I'm not sure he put them on a train yet, but he has used different methods to send these people to sanctuary cities. And everybody's in an uproar. But now the Biden administration has admitted that they have sent hundreds of thousands of migrants to different cities across the country. And the Democrats say nothing. You hear nothing. So let's get into it so we can dissect it and dialogue about it. Like I said, this is from the Daily Mail, and it reads, Biden administration admits flying 320,000 migrants secretly into the U.S. to reduce the number of crossings at the border has national security vulnerability. So they knew these people were coming across the border. So to help us, Texans, I guess, he said, we'll just fly them over. It makes me want to think, but it brings up the story of when this plane in France, I believe, about a month or so ago, was stopped and detained at the airport because there were people coming from, I want to say, India. There's a bunch of them on that plane, and they stopped them, and people had, and the government officials asked them where they were going. They're like, they don't know. Why are you going there? I don't know. They just told us to get on the plane, and here we are. But yet you're paying thousands of dollars, maybe tens of thousands of dollars for tickets to get on the plane and not know where you're going. That's a story they told. But they found, but the plane was going to Nicaragua, which they say is a hub and a problem spot for illegal immigrants coming to America because they can easily be processed there and sent to America with no questions asked. So it makes me wonder, like, those people, because I always wonder, like, where do these migrants get the money to fly or to walk or to be brought to the border? Because they be paying thousands of, like I say, anywhere from a few thousand to tens of thousands of dollars to get to this country. And I mean, from every country, from, like I say, India, from China, from Ukraine, from the continent of Africa. They're coming from continent of South America. They're coming from everywhere. So somebody is making a grip off of these people coming here. But no one's talking about that. I said before in the video that bottom line that this is all based on money. Somebody's getting paid. Like migrants coming over here, they come across the border. Okay, I'll put this on Greg Abbott too. I'll put him in the mix too. That your border patrol is going to get paid, and they're going to get paid federal money. No matter what, they're going to get paid either, I don't know, state or federal money, and they're going to work overtime. One thing they're going to have to do is get paid, whether you like them or not, whether you're mad at each other or not, whether Republicans and Democrats are fighting with each other, whatever they're trying to feed us. Those agents are going to have to be paid. Those lawyers for these illegal immigrants are going to have to be paid. The judges are going to have to be paid. The what you call it, the prison officials, the guards, they're going to have to be paid by federal money. So they're getting their money, and then that money is, like I said, being distributed across the country. So money, because like I said, money is allocated for different things in this country. So let's say you have, like I said, I just say like $1 million allocated for paying for, like I said, Border Patrol. Okay, if Border Patrol has nothing to do, then that money just sits there, right? They get the basic salary and the money just, the extra, the surplus just sits there. They can't pocket the surplus. You understand? So what they had to do is, okay, let's find a reason to use this money. Maybe we can have it allocated to like hiring more people and they get paid overtime. So now you can hire your family. You can hire more of your family. You can't get the money, but you hire your family and friends to come down and work the border. Kind of like how they do in the prisons. It's a big thing. You can read it. There are stories out there on how a lot of time these people that work the prison, their family. They make a lot of money, and then they got houses. It used to be like down here in Texas, like when you go to prisons, there are houses lined up before you get to the prison. Well, those houses belong to the warden and his family, and like I said, the people that work in that prison. But like I said, they get paid, make a lot of money, and shoot, you feeding them, they kids, so you paying for them kids to go to college. Is at the third. So like I say, money is allocated for certain things, and people find a way to get that money. That's all this is. To me, that's all it is. It's just a big scam, money laundering, RICO, that you just can't prove and can't do nothing about because it's a federal government that's doing it. But anyway, let me get into the story, man, because like I said, I'll be rambling and give a whole sermon and not even get to this article. This is a kind of lengthy article, so I don't know if I'm gonna read it all. I'll link it in the description after this video. So Joe Biden's administration has admitted transporting migrants on secret flights into the U.S. and lawyers for its immigration agencies claim revealing the locations could create national security vulnerabilities. Customs and Border Protection has refused to disclose information about a program last year secretly arranging flights for thousands of undocumented immigrants from foreign airports directly to the U.S. cities. Again, I did a story on this plane and how they found out that these planes are flying over here to Nicaragua for migrants to come to America. But this is worse because these are planes flying directly to cities in this country. Custom and Border Protection refused to disclose information about a program last year secretly arranging flights for thousands of undocumented immigrants from foreign airports directly to U.S. cities. It means that while record numbers of migrants were flown over from southern border last year, the Biden White House was also directly transporting them into the country. Use of a cell phone app has allowed for the near undetected arrival of air by 320,000 aliens with no legal rights to enter the United States. How can y'all justify this? This is because I say so type of mentality. There's nothing right about this. How can you justify bringing in people who have no legal rights to enter the United States? Why? Why just leave them where they're at? Instead of just placating for them, why not leave them where they're at? It comes after a controversy over a 2022 transportation program in which the administration used taxpayers' money to move migrants throughout the country on overnight flights. So again, the American taxpayer, myself, this is why people get in cash businesses selling tires, so they ain't got to pay taxes. Because I'd be doggone if I didn't agree to this. Nowhere on my job, when I get my pay stub from my job, nowhere when I get a mortgage statement the annual mortgage statement for my house, do I see a bill saying that my taxes are going to fly illegal immigrants into this country illegally? Included in details of a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit first reported by Todd Bensman, the Center for Immigration Studies found Biden's CBP approved the latest secretive flights that transported hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants from foreign countries into at least 43 American airports from January through December 2023. So he's trying to do like spread them out so each state won't really pay attention and understand what's going on. But we've seen videos where migrants have been flown in. Well, that was my bad. That was the governor of the great state of Texas, Greg Abbott, flying migrants to different cities. And then people getting mad because they're like, I'm paying all this money for this flight, and you got these guys, these illegal immigrants, and they look so clean. You know what I'm saying? You know how you see these immigrants, you wonder where they get their clothes from. Why they look like they cleaner than me, got better clothes than me, got haircuts and stuff like that. Well, I'm sitting here working and trying to figure out when can I get my haircut, this, that, and the third, and when am I have time to go buy me a jacket because I'm freezing. And these folks looking clean as a whistle. This is why. This is how they're able to do it. The program was part of Biden's expansion of the CBP One app, which kicked off at the start of last year. Migrants were able, under Biden's expansion, to apply for asylum using the app from their home countries. And you know, they also use them apps like WhatsApp to find routes on how to get to America, how to get to the border, and how to get over, and how to claim asylum and get to where you, and then, you know, meet up with each other and, you know, get them free benefits. But you don't want to cut them apps out. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to ban those apps. You got other countries that's banning like TikTok and this and the third, but America don't want to ban these apps. They want to leave them open because it's somehow, I got to reread the Constitution because everything can't be unconstitutional. But the Center for Immigration Studies notes that the transportation of these migrants directly to the U.S. is one of the lesser known uses of the app. Aliens who cannot legally enter the U.S. Again, shut down the borders, only have checkpoints. You wouldn't be worried about this. Aliens who cannot legally enter the U.S. use CBP One to apply for travel authorization and temporary humanitarian release from those airports. Under this parole release, hold on. I didn't see anything about prison. So maybe, what does that mean? What does that mean, parole release? Under this parole release, migrants are able to remain in the U.S. for 2 years without obtaining legal status, and meanwhile are eligible for work authorization. You know, I did another video about they have a program for people in other countries, like prisoners that are getting out of jail and need to be paroled somewhere. They can be paroled in the U.S. if they have a sponsor in this country financially backing them. True story. Can't make this stuff up. So then the question is, who in the world are sponsoring these parolees? And what they sponsoring for? Well, yeah, then they have to work. So you got rich people, corporations, companies sponsoring parolees. They can come over here and get jobs. How is this possible? Why is these stories not made bigger than what they are? The administration first said it would not reveal which airports the undocumented aliens were transported, citing a law enforcement expectation and the refusal to hand over information. But new information from CIS lawsuit reveals that locations were not disclosed due to fear, quote, bad actors would inflict harm on public safety or the information would create law enforcement vulnerabilities. CBP lawyers wrote that revealing the airports would reveal information about the relative number of individuals arriving and thus resources expended at particular airports. Why would that be a problem? Why would you not want the American citizens to know how many people are coming in this country? Makes no sense. That would in turn reveal operational vulnerabilities that could be exploited by bad actors, altering their patterns of conduct, adopting new methods of operation, and taking other countermeasures. You already got bad actors. Hey, there's a story out, and I'll put it out. There is a guy who was caught a couple of days before Trump got to the border that was on a terrorist group, and he was caught at Eagle Pass. Now you think if he crossed and got caught on this side of the border, how many of his homies in his group, how many of them you think actually made it over? You see what I'm saying? You see what the problem is. But I know citizens who got some sense and understand how the world works, y'all see exactly what I'm talking about. You understand where I'm going with that. It says they added this could thereby undermine CBP's law enforcement efforts to secure the United States borders. You're not even worried about securing the borders. Greg Abbott is securing the borders for you. But Republicans insist the southern border is not secure. It's not, and are demanding Biden implement more strict protocol between the U.S. and Mexican borders. Yeah, but hell, you close the border, all it's going to do is what? Fly them over? But at least they ain't, hey, that's a them problem. CIS says the secretive flights are legally dubious and claims since CBP will not disclose the locations for fear of grave consequences, it is likely not a program that should continue. It shouldn't. If you're afraid that something can happen for some people who are not legally, have no legal reason to be here in this country, why create a program like that? Again, it's a money factor in this. Another thing I tell my kids and tell people is nobody's going to give you nothing for free, especially if they're going to miss it. They're not. When folks hand you food, say, hey, you want to try this? There is maybe a benefit somewhere. It may not be a benefit directly for me, but it could be a benefit for somebody that's close to me. For example, I know a lady that make tea cakes, talking about them at work. And the guy said, you know somebody make tea cakes? I said, yeah. I said, are they good? I said, well, yeah. I mean, hey, you know what? When I get my batch, I'll bring you one. You can try it out. If you know what I'm saying, if you want to buy some, I'll let them know. I mean, that's just something, I do for, my people. Somebody, that's what you do. Don't necessarily benefit me, but, gets the word out to another small, Black American business to expand the clientele list. That's all. Make more money. That's what that's the type of stuff I do. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like a Black business. Just be a business that have good service, and if it just happens to be a Black business, I would definitely let somebody know. But like I say, there has to be a benefit somewhere. Because if you done brought in 320,000 migrants, I wonder where most of them from. I know they tell you where they say they're from, but I'm quite sure they're probably from other countries. So it say, lawyers also did not disclose the locations of foreign airport departures, making it unclear where these migrants are coming from. But those eligible for the CBP 1 applications are citizens from Cuba, Haiti, Venezuela, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Colombia, and Ecuador. So these are like Central and South American countries. So they say. So again, let's just be real. I'm quite sure most of them are not citizens of these countries, because 320,000, majority of these people are actually coming from like overseas from what it's looking like. But they get to these countries and then they make them pass, or they just forget a pass and just allow to get on the planes and come on over here. It don't even matter. I mean, the way things are going, can you trust what the Biden administration is saying, let alone doing when it comes to these illegal immigrants? They're here for a reason. And you heard Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, say, they're giving out free bank cards and prepaid bank cards so the migrants can have money to eat and spend money in the local shops. That's like that's boosting their economy. That's a benefit. Because if someone is giving you money, say, i.e. the federal government or the state government, say, hey, we got $20 million allocated for the sanctuariness of our cities, you say, okay, well, hey, we only been using like 5 million for the last 40 years that this bill has been in law. Let's find a way to use the whole 20 every year. Hey, let's give them all gift cards, prepaid gift cards, so they can use it to spend money in the city so we can help boost our economy. Like I said, I'm on the wrong side of the money, period. The more I read, the more I study. Like I said, I read articles, I read books when it comes to money and finances and taxes and, and wealth and spending power and all that kind of stuff. All this stuff comes together and it's like, man, forget a 10 for a kufi. If you actually doing the research and doing the right research, you see that, like I say, you're on the wrong side of money, and this game is played by people way bigger than what you think. Way bigger than what you think. So it's just time to pay attention, exercise your right to vote, and you may just have to research and look into finding some valuable land somewhere where there's some good fertile soil, i.e. Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, places like that. And that's them 4 states I know about. Because the way it's going, it's something coming over the horizon, and you having your own plot of land where you can, as we say, grow food. I can speak on that because we're starting to garden now. You're going to start it small this year. No, it did one a few years back. It did okay. But now we've had to do a little research, figure everything out, do a little more better planning. And so now we're going to make it a little bigger this year. And if it does well, I plan on transplanting it over to acreage. Enough acreage to where you can plant and turn into a viable business. That's a goal, or a viable barter system. That's what we're going to need to do, because we really can't trust the government right now. We don't know what they're doing. They're bringing in so many people, and they're not vetting these folks. They don't know where they're coming from, and it's making it dangerous for all of us American citizens. So if you don't have your Amendment 2, you know what I'm talking about. If you ain't got your Amendment 2 license, or just your Amendment 2, big or small, go ahead and get that. Go ahead and get that, because you just may need it to defend yourself against some of these folks that's being brought over here like known terrorists. But anyway, tell me what you think of this story. Leave your comments below. Let's dialogue. You know how we do it over here. We'll try to have intelligent and meaningful conversations about what's going on in the world. And also, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. There's 4 ways you can support, 4 free ways you can support the channel. It helps boost the video in the algorithm, the channel in the algorithm, so we can get these messages out. If you're enjoying these videos, that's the best way to get them out to other people, and so they can do the same, and everybody can, stay up to date with what's going on. But with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.